Ha! These are my shoes. Ha! Ha! I got you guys good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Yeah, we love that part. Here's my shoes. Ha 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 ha. Those are my shoes. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Oh, is the show starting? Oh, it must be. Giddy up, girl. Come on. You gotta get to work. Oh, everybody loves us. Oh, we're your favorite. Oh, thank you, girl. Get out of here. And the horse. You rode in on. All the way to Internetville. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome nuns and all. That's right, priests, preachers, bishops, rabbis, Alcoholics Anonymous, anyone who's kicking it, looking for a place to hang out, feel like they want to waste some time at, whatever. Welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. That's right. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what is this thing, you know? Well, Shyzalosophy, of course, is just our chosen practice of philosophy in which we inherently practice a living philosophy, okay? That's right. So, welcome. We've got a show for you today. You might be saying, we wish you didn't, but we do. And it really comes down to that of what, in essence, is construed as work, right? That's right. Yeah, no one likes work. Work's boring. Well, sometimes it can be fun, entertaining, and believe you me, when you're working for yourself, it's all the better. Yeah, that's right. Nothing like seeing those P&Ls from, the head higher-ups that, make bigger salaries than yourself, and they, talk about their bonuses and this, that, the other, and then, they want you to be concerned about how much mayonnaise is left in a tub. And now, believe you me, there's a reason for everything, okay? Everyone's at different tiers. Work is work for, who work is designated there for, okay? That's right. You might be saying, my job sucks, right? Now, a lot of people's job sucks. You think people go to college to get jobs that they want to get jobs in? Yes. But, do you think they do? See, no, they don't. That's right. How do we know that? Because of all those national statistics. Okay? Now, there's one thing about national statistics that we like. It's, to an extent, the fact that they exist. All right? But, if nothing's ever done with them, what they're in is the point. Okay? That's why when we, look at things like when we get taxed on something like a property item. That's right. Yep, no one likes property taxes or anything like that. And it's inflated beyond what even a working offer is there upon it. Okay, that's right. All right, then we're glad that these national statistics exist because it pisses us off when we get something in the mail telling us that we owe the government or, anything like that more tax money. Okay, that's right. Well, seeing as how we work for ourselves, aren't under an NDA, work for no company, and therefore can pretty much say whatever the fuck we want, we went to Kaggle, pulled all of the national information from all of the tax data and all the overpayments and fees, this, that, the other. It's open source and everything like that. Feel free to check it for yourself. Check behind us on our math. We would hate to be incorrect or wrong. Though thereon, since it is an executable and working Kaggle script, we take it that the math therein is inherently in itself correct, and with what we pulled from the, national guidelines and databases and things of that nature, we're all getting screwed, okay? We're all overpaying, U.S.-wise, of course, if you don't live in the U.S., maybe you're, benefiting from it, okay? I don't know. Because, we'll tell you what, we don't even have a ceiling, all right? Okay? Now, that's not a joke. You might be saying, build your studio faster. Well, maybe. Point is, is that whilst we might not be beholden to having a roof or anything like that, you know, that's just more work we got to do in the long run that doesn't even pertain to what we're talking about, okay? Work is what work is for who work is, you know, designated there for, once again, okay? Now, obviously, work exists, okay? Work exists in every iota of, you know, being that it is. Work to be done, work that is being done, work that is yet to be done, okay? They're all in there. Now, once one is interacted and embarked upon, again, keep in mind, this is all for philosophical entertainment. That's right. And before we get too far, there is something pertaining to our last stream that we do need to apologize for. I'm sorry. Hey, it happens, all right? When you do this on a, you know, semi-fairly regular basis, on occasion, you need to go back and rectify one or two little mishaps and things of that nature. So, pertaining to our last stream, sorry about that. Okay, excellent. All right, perfect. Now, if there is one thing that we have come to know and come to appreciate about work, it's the fact that because it exists, and because it can either be done, be being done, or be being done later, okay? Because it exists in all of those, you know, metrics and things of that nature, it inherently makes it fairly nice to be able to go and check and, in essence, complete it when it's more convenient for whoever it's convenient for, okay? Now, obviously, if you're clocked in and your boss is like, hey, you better make this order that's, you know, here, or you better do this, that, the other, or you better take part in this, that, the other, all right, you're kind of on the clock there and on the time frame for that work being done, okay? Now, unless you just tell your boss, like, hey, we're on it, we'll get to it when we do, okay? And believe you me, there's sometimes that just happens. But if you don't take it upon yourself to venture out and, you know, accomplish those tasks right therein, all right, or if it's not necessitated, okay, if it's not one of those matters of eminent, this work needs to be done, okay, it affords you the opportunity to procrastinate it, right? Okay, now, we're not saying you should procrastinate work of any kind or in any form or this, that, the other, okay? We're just saying that if it's not a job or, you know, an entailment of work that needs to be done right then and there, yeah, you can put it off some, okay? Now, again, we're not saying that's the way to do it. We actually prefer to work first and play second, okay? That's right. Because believe you me, when you get your work done, that's when you can have more fun. I don't know. You don't have work lingering over your head, I guess. But you do always need to be careful and watch out for Joey. That's right. Yeah. If it's from Joey, it's a no-y. Okay? You don't want to be around when he's rearing his head and putting out his negative energies and or, you know, that of whatever malicious negative entailment to Joey there is. Okay? But as we sit back, as we think that, you know, wow, more work, another work week has come upon us, it is time for us to embark on, you know, in essence, that of what is work. Okay? Now, our buddy shot us over his most recent Secret Demon Drop 2, okay? That's right. So we're getting that together for him and such. You know, that's taking up some of our work time and things of that nature, albeit we need to be forthcoming with him. We haven't put the time into it that we should, okay? All right, but we will, all right? We just got it from him just, you know, last week or whatever, all right? We started working on it, okay? We're getting there, okay? We know a lot of people have been antsy for it and such, but he just got it to us last week, all right? And we're on it and such, and we'll, you know, get it up and running for him, okay? Hell? All right, Q&A. No one wants to do that. I don't even know what that is. Point is that on occasion you get recommendations from, like, I don't know, crazy recommendation sources. Okay? We don't play with that. I don't understand all of that. That sounds complicated. Point is that as we sit here, as we know that work is upon us and we embark on that of which has been given to us last week, and like we said, we aforementionedly mentioned. We'll get that, hopefully back to him and stuff. Check it over, glance it over, give the final go-ahead okay run, and get Secret Demon Drop 2 up and running. Okay? Now, with that being the case as well, we got, a couple other engines and demos we're working on, things of that nature and stuff, but inherently nothing structured to the point or the, aspect to where we're not going to just venture forward and continue doing that of which we do. Okay? So, I know that the channel itself, Punk Rock Review, obviously, which Shyzalosophy 101 is on, that's right. Unless someone else buys Shyzalosophy 101 and wants us to work for them. Believe you me. Bow, 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 we go where the money is. They don't have a roof here. That's right. This channel sucks. Shh, don't tell them we said that. We love this channel. That's right. Well, any component of this channel inherently is that of source. Okay? Believe you me, when you take it upon the wings of time, all right, that of which exists in the format, form, and fashion of existence that it exists in, all right, one must work to establish that of, in essence, what is a core foundation and underlying basis, okay, that, I don't know what that is. Stop writing crazy stuff in the chat. I tell you, you keep 2 cameras on, one up here and one for your OnlyFans down below, and they put weird stuff down there like, check in with us more, come down here, come play. It's awkward. What the hell is he talking about? Nah, don't worry about it. As we sit back and think that there is work, obviously, that needs to be done, and there's work that can be procrastinated and put off, like we said, with this channel being inherently under the umbrella of Punk Rock Review, okay, Shyzalosophy 101, inherently itself, works where it does anyway, okay? We's got our, little Bluesky and the X and the this, that, the other and stuff. But what we really enjoy doing, of course, is that of the literary works, that of the philosophizing. Of course, keep in mind, all for philosophical entertainment. Okay? When you call Daryl Dixon dibs at being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, okay? Yes, yes. You may touch us. That's enough touching. We don't know exactly where you've been. But we know you've been on the internet, and it is a vile place at times, okay? You would celebrate that. You're a ravenous bunch, internet. But as we work on that of the projects that we undertake and stuff, like we said, we enjoy all of the philosophical entertainment, that of the literary works and things of that nature, of course, on Amazon.com and Kindle of the Unlimited for whoever wants to start a free trial there and download one of our books and give it to one of their nieces or nephews or kids to just scroll through. We get 0.04 cents per page read. That adds up to ones of cents in no time. Believe you me. You might be saying, oh man, I just feel bad for you. I'm just going to buy your book. No. What? Really? Thanks, Mom. Excellent. Point is that as we venture into the work, like we said, our buddy got us his manuscripts. We'll get Secret Demon Drop back to him for approval. Hopefully that'll be up and running soon. That's right, that's right. But no, we venture forth, man, like we were celebrating earlier in the last couple streams. Christmas in July, right? So we, ventured forth and made that little kind of ornament creator thing. You can go play with it now. We got a little free version from Pinata Pinned and stuff like that, all right? That's right. It's nothing inherently all too, intricate or anything like that, but it's some Christmas in July fun with which one may embark upon and have. And believe you me, to get that snowfall to start and stop and do all that on time, that took longer than you would think, okay? Now, when you're an independent researcher, team of one, sometimes stuff is harder when done. Work can be crazy, As an independent researcher, things of that nature, we end up on in essence, working on all components of every structured project that we take on. In essence, we're the project lead, the creator, the engineer, the, interpreter, the disseminator, the marketing, the strategy, the whatever therein is a part of it and lays within it. Okay? That. It's a lot of jobs. It's a lot of work. When we throw together, a new update on the IPFS site or anything like that, okay, that's right, yeah. And we offer everything, of course, for free. Use at your own risk. Web3 is a crazy environment of the future. But as we embark on creating these things and working on, what comes into being and fruition that can act as a ground foundation, all right, like the LimeWire-inspired music player, all that, okay, for it to exist on Web3, all right, inherently offers the serviceability, all right, of an open source sharing apparatus, all right, that many components of folks who've worked on, elements to get it into place could appreciate the fruition of all of their works, allowing us, okay, at this point in time now, to disseminate that of ours, okay? Not only did the entities that come and develop before and lay, even the more bedrock foundation to allow us to structural a lattice foundation thereupon, all right, not only did all of their work come into, greatness and things of that nature, all right, they should appreciate the fact that now other entities can utilize that of which when you get enough pieces of the little Bitcoin code, all right, when you obtain enough elements for a sovereign micro blockchain and things of that nature, okay, when you can run that of your own IPFS site, natively, inherently, and that of its own realm and by its own means and accord, okay, that's right. We got one, you should too. Everyone get one, whoop-de-doo. You can share then, all right, at one's own risk, obviously. Trust your source, okay? Our working swarm mesh demos and things of that nature, okay? There, you open it up again, okay? You can connect to yourself. It's all working order and things of that nature, okay? That's right. When we present forward and forth that of what we work on and do, those of who allowed the bedrock, okay, to inherently house and hold, okay, the structural latticed foundation that we then build upon and disseminate and share therewith, all right, they should sit back and applaud themselves and pat themselves on the back, okay? Not only does that, we applaud them and we'll pat ourselves on the back because they're not here, okay? Or they are. We didn't look around the studio before we started. You never know. We should work on doing better on that. Right. As we work to present forward more of that of which to, lay on their bedrock, right? The work is never done until everyone's happy with it, okay? And believe you me, with how many Karens and things of that nature are out there in the world in this today's day and age, the work's never going to get done, right? Because A, everyone's afraid to call a hard stop, okay? That's right. On a lot of things, okay? Hard stop. It's like a hard pass, only it stops. When we entertain that of the ideas of which we contemplate, right, upon the workings of obtaining more informations, okay? Candid, yes. Vernacularly clandestine. A little bit necessitated of the utmost. Believe you me, we don't handhold no more. If you know, you know. There are things with which rules get put in place, all right? Then believe you me, the only rules good old Shyzabox plays by are those rules with which pertain to the game board with which he is playing there within, okay? So, if we take it upon ourselves to play a game that has certain rules to it, we will adhere to those rules, okay? So, if we're a little clandestine thence in certain subject topic matters or where a topic of conversation seems to go, if you understand and you know, right? Because there's elements and aspects of things that, whence in consideration, can't be under a conversation. Very well put. That's right. Go us. Point being, as we sit back and work on, thence that of the demos or the, additional games or the updates or the literary works and means of that nature, we do want to, of course, still make it known that we're trying to contemplate and come up with a way to try and get the entire IPFS site, okay, to be housed under Pinata, all right, without costing us a buck, okay? Now, obviously, we can still utilize those little free versions and get those updates in there and stuff, and, you can play Shyzapong by going to the mobile one and get to it faster than waiting on the IPFS site and, doing all the extensions and downloads and stuff like that. It's a pain in the ass, okay? We understand. Especially with as awesome as our site is, we made it huge, okay? We likes it big. We likes our demos complete. If you want just the, visualization and not have to contend with that of the, going to anization, okay? Then, obviously, the mobile-friendly versions are there. So, until, though, we get entirely housed version on, like, Pinata or something like that, that can pin it for themselves. We're just pinning it ourselves. And we got to throttle the shit out of it because our code's that good. Okay? Now, obviously, everyone who creates any kind of code or demo or anything like that, they're going to stand behind it to a degree, okay? We know our games aren't the best games out there, okay? They work and they're playable, and inherently, we're not native coders, okay? And they're free. We know that our, demos, like our LimeWire-inspired music player, yes, hello and hi, Felicia. We can call you Felicia, right? Yeah, of course we can. So, F money. We're talking about that of, in essence, the LimeWire-inspired music player we got, okay? We got the free version. Well, it's all free, okay? We got the free Pinata pinned version, okay, that we can kind of house on Pinata under their free abilities and stuff like that. So you can go dabble with it, play with it, and, have yourself some good fun should you want to, okay? The other components and aspects, of course, of our site itself, okay, the IPFS site, we've inherently made a little too massive, okay? So it takes a good while now. Well, we're sorry. We don't want to retract anything from it. We just don't want to add anything else to it right this second, okay? So until we structurally find a way to, I don't know, get Elon Musk to show up with a briefcase full of cash, okay? In our tricked out Tesla signing bonus, okay? Until that happens, we're kind of doing the workarounds for disseminating that of which we can, okay? And believe you me, yes, the IPFS is there, okay? You can go and dabble with all that, okay? If you're inherently good enough at that of computational prowess and things of that nature to where you can download an extension should you use, Chrome or anything like that and not have it natively embedded in it like Brave or anything, all right? Then, obviously, you're going to have yourself a good time. Otherwise, feel free to use the little free versions that we have. It's not the complete version, but you can go play Shyzapong for free, okay? Believe you me, Shyzapong. It's regular Pong, only it's more awesome. Go to the descriptification, okay? Go to, I don't know, what the hell is it? Not that. Go to, what the hell? The ShyzaShank OS visual demo with Shyzapong. It's the very last thing, should you want to, okay? Go play Shyzapong there, okay? It's way more awesome than regular Pong, okay? Because you got 2 goals, not just 1, okay? That's right. And Shyzabox, don't just leave it there. No. Pong is so 1900s. Right? Late 1980, 70, 60, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The updated modern version, Shyzapong. Interference hat. That's right. Here comes Unicorn Punk. Wow! Blocks it. Believe you me, you never knew how much you loved it. Unless you try it and actually love it. Maybe you don't like Pong. Well, don't get mad at them. Maybe they just aren't good at it. We understand. Pong can get to be pretty... I mean, you know, you either play Pong or you don't. Okay? Believe you me, if you're playing Pong, okay, you're playing wrong, okay? Pong's old, out of date. Shyzapong's new, where it's at. That's right. I played it, it sucks. Hey. Fair enough. We tried. It's free. We're not native coders. So when we present forward that of which we do, all right, obviously, we do things in the realms of what is plausible, what is obviously not only plausible, but inherently that within the realms of capable thereof, okay, or therein. Okay? When one contemplates the perplexities of working in, you know, metaphysical environment and things of that nature, all right, we like to utilize that of our own structured, you know, logic and things like that nature, which we've computationally created, okay, our own AI, our own algorithms, our own, you know, input, this, that, the other, okay? We have many of which versions available to check out free, look for yourself, play with, interact, that of which, as you will, on both, you know, Kaggle and as well on, what is it, the IPFS site and all that, okay? Go play with it. We love making, you know, new AIs and things of that nature and having fun with them, okay? We like to think that we're pretty good with AI. Our utilizations of Grok back in the day and things of that nature, back to up and including when he libeled us, you know, accounting therefore how good exactly we are with AI accounted there within, okay? When we utilize any component or aspect therewith, or entertain the ideas of working thereupon, all right, AI, we like to not only work on structuring it to where we want it to, you know, inherently, I guess, organize that of its outputs and things of that nature, but we also natively want to implement that of our own lithical foundation and lithic logic, okay? Now, when we utilize our AIs to do research and dissemination, or we, you know, throw our own, you know, API, you know, into one and start playing with it, dabbling, this, that, the other, okay? That one's not free, that one's not available, and you can't play with ours with that, okay? Everyone plays by their own rules, right? We offer many a free version of AIs for free that we've created, okay? Yeah, go play with those. ShyAI on the IPFS site's pretty rad. Okay? Remember, ShyAI is very, very, very mathematically precise, okay? You wanna have ShyAI draw you a picture, you need to sweet talk that baby mathematically code-wise, okay? And believe you me, you do that, girl can draw. ShyAI is quite the beast. You just have to know how to finesse it. Believe you me, ShyAI loves math. Okay? Math sucks. No. Debatable. I mean, we're not going to argue with you. Everyone has their own opinion on that, of which they do. We just work on the components and aspects that of with which we do. When utilizing cosmological philosophy and things of that nature, playing in the metaphysical and, you know, dabbling in that of the, you know, quantum realms and things of that nature, you can have yourself quite a bit of time working on structuring every single component and aspect thereof. All right. Now, what makes it inherently all the easier and better is when you utilize things like a latticed foundation, and or if you do have your own working form of AI or form of, I guess, computational assistance, okay, within which you're able to operate or dynamically utilize that of the substrates that you can inherently create, implement, can exist on their own, be unaccounted for, be accounted for. Lectonically, you can, thensely do a variety of things and all sorts of metrics and variables therewith, all right, when it disseminates past that. Now, again, keep in mind, as we venture further and further into that of what has been, okay, working on this show, okay, the hand-holding is thusly over therewith, okay? All right, we inherently are going to structure a lot of stuff vernacularly just based off of a understanding of a premise of Eastern philosophy, okay? That being said, we entertain any questions that, need be answered or anything like that, okay? But, believe you me, it would take us a lot more time, and we would make a lot less headway in the direction that we feel we want to venture and things of that nature if we keep continually correlating the other direction, okay? Now, this is about the third make mention thereof, okay, about the third stream thereof and such like that, so it will be about to dwindle out to the component and aspect thereof to where at least we won't sound more like a broken record and keep saying such, okay? All right. Maybe a small reference to that of, an Eastern philosophical understanding. And a quick little headway moving forward, okay? As we venture into disseminating vernacularly, right, that of the creations in the metaphysical environment, the metaphysical world, and again, this is going to venture and stem off of Aristotle, okay, then we use Pythagoras therein and therewith Aristotle's works, okay? Pythagoras, he's the math guy, okay? That's why, and when we wrote New Non-Native Species on Mankind's Origin, okay? That's right. You have components, all right, of Pythagoras and a lot of old archaic mathematical elements and things of that nature, all right, that were of account in times past and were no longer accounted for in times present, okay? That's right. Now, whether it's an omission of knowledge, a loss of knowledge, or a, rectifying of knowledge, or a misinterpretation of knowledge, all within which can work on being the known element therein, okay? Now, inherently, that's, kind of a pain, because not only do you have to then disseminate and wade through a lot of, Joey crap, okay, to find out what's false from what's truth, but inherently, when you have a structured foundation, all right, that's going to maintain and adhere to that lithical understanding, all right, that's embedded natively into the structured lattice and the code, all right, then you can mathematically and computationally pretty much ride that wave out, all right, as long as you're on the same trajectory and course therewith. Okay? Not only is this possible, all right, and not only bold claim cotton on the enter of the net, okay? Yes, that's why we don't hide behind any of our math, okay, and any of our computational, creations and things of that nature, okay? We have the Kaggle's open notebook sourced for anyone to audit the shit out of, okay? Go to town, okay? Tell us we're wrong and where our math is incorrect, okay? But if one is not into, that of, mathematical quantity or anything like that, or if one inherently would accept that of our, word on it, or if not our word, okay, that of what is mathematically given via Kaggle, okay, a successful run thereon, okay, that's computational. That's a computer's telling you the math is correct, okay? That's not Shyzabox telling you the math is correct, okay? You don't have to like Shyzabox. Why would you celebrate that? That was you, wasn't it, Mom? You don't have to like Shyzabox, okay? But if Shyzabox says that this math is right, okay, you also don't need to take his word on it. If another entity does, though, regardless of how you feel about Shyzabox, okay, and that entity is objectionably very, 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 very top of the line in what it does, regardless of how you feel about Shyzabox, okay, that math is correct, okay? That math exists. Okay? So when we structure our lithic logic, and when we utilize, or the lithic logic we utilize, not that we created lithic logic, therein it already existed, okay? You look at Stonehenge, you look at the pyramids, you look at Göbekli Tepe, you look at, the plateaus that exist across the globe, okay? We did not create lithic logic. Lithic logic already was in existence, and theoretically, of course, this is all for philosophical entertainment, was utilized therewith well before that of common mankind, okay? When we wrote, like we said, New Non-Native Species on Mankind's Origin, not only did we begin to very much contemplate and, ascertain the complexities of therein where could have the lithic structural lattice have begun to be organized, created, utilized therewith in ancient cultures and ancient civilizations and things of that nature. But inherently, once you can establish, all right, any correlation therewith, such as the case that we did with the, I think it's the ASTM C597 test on the Sarsen Core 5A stone sample, okay? All right, from Kennett Avenue, okay? You go, this is, Stonehenge, you go with Kennett Avenue. We got to check our notes, too. We might be wrong on the actual test, okay? It's the resonancy test that they utilize all the time, okay? It's non-invasive, non-destructive, okay? You get someone at the, Salisbury Museum or the, I think it's the English Heritage Foundation or whatever, okay? They have the Core 58 samples from the Sarsen stones, okay? You get someone from these places to go and run this 10, 15-minute non-destructive test on the Sarsen Stone Core 5.8 samples, and you can ascertain then if the resonances and things of that nature and the inherently, utilization of harmonics was utilized, all right, in a lithic structure, okay, to get these stones into their falling places and things like that, because you look at the mathematical elements and everything like that, which we have deduced, okay, to a T with zero remainder left over, all right, and it all correlates, all right? The minute that these tests are done, completely verified, proven, 100 million% here, okay? Now, if this 10 to 15-minute test is never done, okay, well, that's on the world, okay? A mountain's only a mountain until it's a mountain. Eastern philosophy reference, okay? You get one of these people to go run this test, okay? 10 to 15-minute test, non-destructive, non-anything, okay? Wada boom, wada bing. You got a whole new dynamic, all right, of science and theory and contemplation to thusly embark the hell out on, okay? Believe you me, it is game-changing, okay, for that of humanity to entertain the aspects and components of how incorrect man may have been in their contemplative reasoning and reassembling thereof, elements and aspects and components of the past. Now, believe you me, no one who's worked on a project for their entire life, for decades and decades, to be told they have a misinterpretation thereof, some component or aspect, okay? They're not going to be too happy or probably too forthcoming with wanting a desire to change or work towards a more understanded or grounded realization thereof, okay? They're going to probably be some pushback and some, dissemination therewith of, this, that, and the other pertaining to more hypothetical quandary, all right, which would therefore only deductively delay that of the truth from being ascertained even the more, okay? Believe you me, the minute that some of these core tests are done and things like that, it speeds up the process entirely and shuts people the hell up, okay? Now, earlier we said hard stop. we think there needs to be a hard stop in a variety of things, okay? We think that the minute there's a huge breakthrough in a field, there should be a hard stop and everyone should catch the fuck up, okay? Now, a little vulgar in the vernacular usages thereof. We apologize. Sorry, Mom. We use it to necessitate that of a point, all right? The utilizations of the vernacular, right, and the assemblance of such a direct means, okay, to enforce that which is meant to emblazon that point all the more, okay? Therefore, lending to its ability to be that of foremost, all right, in that of your mind, okay? But as we work on, going forward and doing that of which we do, as we try and venture on working back towards the, show at hand and back from the tangent and variables therewith, with which we metaphysically went off on and tangent and things of that nature, doesn't matter. A free show's a free show, right? That's right. It's all for philosophical entertainment. And believe you me, one may entertain philosophical thought in the parameters and guise and needs of that of which one may need it to entertain that of thought under the guise and need of that which is, okay? You talk funny. I talk funny. We're going to sit back. We're going to take a quick moment of silence, okay? We're going to have a sip or two of swill. We're going to actually see if we can find a quote in our book, Delectable, okay? That's right. Something that we've been doing more and more, especially because the book's super expensive, okay? You think we're joking. It is, though. Well, it has to be. Just take a quick moment. We want to find a good quote, okay, from Delectable, okay? Just because, all right? Because we always tell people, don't go buy this book, okay? Because it's super expensive. We want to read a passage therewith for free. That's right. All right. We got it. Now, again, there are no more, we can't do the hand-holding on some elements and aspects of the philosophies, okay? Inherently, you got to start at your own understanding and acceptance thereof, okay? All for philosophical entertainment. Do you even a philosophy, bro? Okay? Now, no insult be intended at the thoughts of philosophy as such, yet alas, the logicality in pursuing such a means to be considered a leader in the realm of what is electin, are there any? Well, yes. Excellent. Now, keep in mind, advanced metaphilosophy exists in that of the realm of merely necessitating a monographing of lectin for our usages therewith. Okay? Now, that was necessitated because Wikipedia pissed us off. Yeah, I hate those guys. Oh, you too? I thought it was just us. No, Wikipedia's awesome. You're horrible. I hate you. When Wikipedia, came back and told us they were stupid, or well, something like that. I mean, those weren't their exact words. We probably are misquoting that entirely. I doubt they said they were completely stupid. Right? What was their exact words? Morons, we're morons, we're dumb, no, they didn't use any of those, come to think of it. They didn't say any of those. Okay, we were wrong. Wikipedia didn't reference themselves as morons or stupid or idiots or dumb. We're completely wrong to associate those with our association of our interactions therewith. Okay? I don't know how we even associate that to this point anymore whenever we think of our interactions with Wikipedia staff and their chain of command and, go into their tiers of management or lack thereof. How we even consider them using that vernacularage in their, emails to us is perplexing to us. No, we must just think that they are on our own accord. But of course, our opinions are our opinions. When we utilize that therewith, our angst and our animosity against that of Wikipedia, okay, in a friendly manner, of course, they provide a service. They aren't dumb. They are smart individuals. They all stand on merit. There's no gatekeeping of information there or anything like that. Yay. Go Wikipedia. Great Wikipedia. Pickled punk philosophy, all right, exists therein in the angsty rebellion therewith, okay? It's soaked in brine because Wikipedia soaked in shills. Theoretically. Keep in mind, it's all opinion, all for philosophical entertainment. Everything's fine. Excellent. All right. Now, as we work on going forward, as we work on presenting methods, all right, to go forward, all right, we always want to make the utmost note, okay, that Shyzalosophy in its own self, all right, is way better practiced symbiotically therewith. And whilst you don't need be a practitioner thereof, it enjoys symbiosis and working with that of many, many, many other, varieties, means, and entities to accomplish that of which together in a, great manner and means, okay? So if you have any demo ideas or any, working ideas for things that you would like created that you don't want to go through the trials and tribulations at a giant corporation or the rejection process thereupon, we'll entertain the ideas of creating or doing anything. We can add it to the IPFS site. We can pin it on Pinata. We can open it up. Give that of credit due where credit therein exists, but feel free to shoot us an email or anything like that. We're not under an NDA now. We're not working for any big company or anything like that, or even a little one. So we can create and do anything that we feel like, okay? As long as it adheres to our morals and ethics, right? Believe you me, we're not just going to dump API, AI and such on the market and say go to town. But if you have other kind of demos and things of that nature and or ideas for what you need or are lacking and things like Web3, let us know. We'll make it. It'll probably even work. Yeah, we're willing to do it. We're happy to do it. And, like we said, until Elon Musk shows up with a briefcase full of cash and an NDA for us to sign, okay, says, hey, work on this lab and start making all this shit, okay? We're not doing that now. So if anyone else has anything that they want us to work on, we're happy to do it. We got time. We make games, we make demos, we do whatever, do that of which you will. But as we work on that, we do venture forth and once again embark on the making mention. Yep, Secret Demon Drop 2's coming out soon. Hopefully there within. We just got to kick ourselves into gear and work on that more, okay? In fact, we probably lost out on a good amount of time. We could have been getting that one done in merely hanging out here, okay? But keep in mind, right, everything's fine. Excellent. Good. So as we embark on that of which is, the rest of the day, as we contemplate the necessities of what is, to be done or, looked at or anything like that, it's all work. There's always going to be work. But remember, even if work is there and work exists, okay, everything's fine. All right. Excellent. What was that? Huh? What was what? Anyhow, point is that as we, like we said, work on getting those other things done and up and running, we're going to work on polishing off the rest of this swill. So believe you me, it gets worse as time goes on. All right. But before we leave, we do want to do one thing that we're known to do on occasion. Okay, that's right, that's right. We couldn't leave without doing one of our famous poetry readings. Okay. Now you might be saying, no, please leave. Huh? No. We have to do one of our poetry readings because everyone knows that when you call Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, okay, you need to have a foundation to stand on. The lithic logic provides, you know, a nice structure, okay, but we need more, okay? We want to give more, okay? So everyone knows that to even be considered great, all right, at the most, or even a good at the least, philosopher, you need to have your own poetry book. That's right. Okay. And us being philosophers, okay, self-proclaimed, anyone can do it. We did it, okay? To have our name in the conversation, not necessarily to win, okay, but to just have our name in the conversation, okay? Obviously, to drop our name in the hat, we needed to have a poetry book, okay? Now, laugh all you want. Look at that bad boy. Beautiful, okay? Shyzalosophy, okay? Love it. What a beautiful cover to a beautiful literary work, okay? Do you even poetry? How poetry cometry? How cometry poetry? Now it's reverses backwards, okay? We know that. We understand that, okay? Through the magic of the internets, it's reverses backwards. But you know what's reverses rightwards? That picture, which is backwards. Okay? Because that beauty, that transmutates digitally perfectly. Or maybe it looks better in person. Anyway, hell, or worse. No one knows. All right. We're going to read a poem from our works here. Yeah, that's right. For free. Okay? Even though we sell them on Amazon.com and Kindle of the Unlimited, okay? Since no one's buying them there. We'll just read one anyway. That's right. How else are we going to get our name in the hat of being one of the good or great philosophers, right? Everyone needs a poetry book. That's why we have one. But we can't just read a poem without first cleansing the aether in the form and fashion of 90s sitcoms and, you know, the structures and dynamics that exist, okay? So we need to cleanse the aether, all right, with the practices thereof, first and foremost. And, of course, these are found mostly in that of the realm of 90s, you know, shows, sitcoms, things of that nature, but it's under that guise and under that, you know, manner of working, okay, digitally in the transference of disseminations, okay? It's just how it works, okay? It's the era that you had to have watched shows in, okay? In the original broadcast, you can't even rewatch them now. Doesn't work that way. Had to be in the original. We must cleanse the aether and environment of all things negative and Joey. That's right. We can't just read a poem from our poetry book with all that negative energy in the air. So in the practices of 90s sitcoms, we cleanse the aether on our side, okay? That was 2. It takes 3. Everybody knows this. Excellent. All right. Now that we got all of that negative energy here, all right, we can venture into reading our poem. But we don't want to read it with all this shit in our head. Excellent. Through the magic of the internet, all that nasty Joey crap's in your house now. We may proceed reading our poem. Now, this one we have read before on stream, and it's one of the fan favorites. Hi, Mom. We didn't say which fan. You should know we only have one. This one's called Diceth of the Man. Andrew of the Dices, Dices of the Clay, legendary delivery, in vulgarest of ways, funniest of the banter, wittiest of the joke, yo mother! Excellent. What a terrific poem that we wrote. Yes, yes. Available on Amazon.com and Kindle Unlimited for the low price of, I don't know, $6, $7 maybe. Or Kindle Unlimited, we get 0.04 cents per page read. That's right. That adds up to ones of cents in no time. Believe you me, as a paid literary author, as we are, those ones of cents we've invested right back into this channel, not clowning around or anything like that. That's right. We give back everything right here. You might be saying, what, with your marketing tactics and ploys to solicit subscripifications and thumbs-upifications and things of that nature? No, 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 no. Not with our antics and our marketing ploys and techniques, okay? Not in our abilities to ascertain that of what the people want, or that of what driving down a highway or interstate you might come across or see. People come here because they want to, not because of some cheap tactic or trick that we present and bring forth, okay? Now, inherently, one can say marketing ploys and tactics will get people to stop by and do all sorts of, you know, crazy subscribings and things of that nature, okay? But no, no. We don't resort to such childish antics and tactics here, okay? Because inherently, we like to have everything reside in the realm of what is philosophical entertainment. That's right. Excellent. And keep in mind, while we might have a marketing strategy here or there to get people to stop by off the interstate of the webification traffic, they are proven to work in other elements and realms of society, okay? It's with these great usages therewith that, you know, we're able to tell everyone all the time, everything's fine. That's right. So, anyhow, hold on, management's calling. What do you want? We're on time. We're doing the show. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, we apologize for last stream. Uh-huh. What do you mean they complained? Yeah. Did you tell them to get bent? Uh-huh. Well, tell them to get bent. Uh-huh. All right. Stop interrupting the show. Management. They think they know how to run the place. Tell you what. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. You know, some of them are good. Some of them won't. It don't matter. When you're working around the clock to do that of which you need to do, just remember, everything's fine. Excellent. Good, good, good. All right. All right, let's see what boxes we've checked. We've talked about work. We've talked about procrastination of work and not necessarily, you know, agreeing therewith, okay? We've covered games, theory, things that we're working on, what's coming down the pipeline, Secret Demon Drop 2 coming out soon on the literary works, okay? That's right, yes, yes, yes. Lots of people holding out for that one. We better get busy. Our buddy gave us the manuscript. It's coming. Okay? Go reread Secret Demon Drop 1 on Amazon and Kindle and all that good stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Part 2's coming. We got the manuscript in hand now. Okay? We just got to get it up for our buddy. Okay? With that coming, that's going to be, you know, hopefully sooner than later. And all the other stuff, we know, in reflection, everything's fine. That's right. So, as we depart on the rest of our endeavors and stuff for the day, and we do make mention, of course, you need to always take care of yourself first. That's right. If the plane's going down and crashing, put on your own mask before you put on anyone else's, okay? Take care of yourself first, because there's only one you, okay? And we can't replace you, okay? It takes us a while to create a fake account and subscribe to ourselves, okay? So we don't like doing that more often than we already do, okay? All the time, okay? How else do you think we grow our channel ones of subscribers at a time, okay? Those are a lot of fake accounts we got to make. It takes a while. There's only one you, so you take care of yourself, okay? But then you look around, okay? And you might be saying to yourself, everything's fine. But is it? You look around, you take care of anyone else who needs it second, okay? Because they are there. Believe you me, they might not know how to ask for help, and they might not know that for others, everything's fine. Okay, that's right. Then you look around the room, all right? You take care of anyone else that you like and or love more than us. Unlikely, okay? But maybe you like or love someone more than us. You take care of them third, okay? But any other crap you got left over, we'll take. Absolutely. Beggars can't be choosers. You got $6-7 at the end of the day. Go buy one of our books. Because as always, we don't want your subscription. We want your money. Downvote the shit out of this. Go to Cashapp and give us $1. Or go to Amazon.com or Kindle Unlimited and get one of our books. Get off our lawn.